How's it going, everyone? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. And next to me, we have the brand new 2021 Audi Q5 Sportback. And this is the 45 TFSI. There are other trim levels available, which we'll talk about as well. But in this video, we're going to talk about the design, the tech inside, and we're going to take it on the road as well to see what it actually feels like when you're driving it on the road, this windy road, countryside road. I'm out here in the Cotswolds, so perfect road just for that. And we're going to take it on the motorway back as well. So when I go to drop the car back, we do a bit of motorway journey so we can see what it rides like on the motorway as well. But before we get into it, if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe and smash the like button and share it as well, and ding that bell notification, because that's the only way you know every time I upload a new video just like this one. Let's get on with it. Let's start with the design. So this is Audi's crossover SUV, or CUV if you like. That's because it's a bit of an SUV, but also has that sloped back, the Sportback, that gives you that coupe look, and it looks very aggressive. When you look at the front grille, the octagonal design looks fantastic, and I like the color coordination. I love the color of this car. I think the official name of this color is a Navarra blue in metallic, and you have to pay extra though for that metallic finishing, but it looks fantastic, especially when the sun is glistening on it. It looks fantastic. I love the lines on the bonnet as well, gives you that aerodynamic look, and then when you look on the side, the lines go all the way to the back as well. Fantastic. And then when you go to the back of the car again, you see that little lip on the boot lid, which looks great. It gives you that sporty look on the back as well. I love the LED tail lights. Fantastic looking as well. There's not much bad thing to say about this car. It's sitting on 20-inch alloys, which gives it a taller look, a taller stance. And again, when you're driving on road, you get a feel for it, and it's great. If you have the adaptive air suspension, you can lower it accordingly. So if you need to put stuff in the boot, for example, you can just lower the car a little bit, and you'll be able to get your stuff easier into the car. If you don't have that though, it's still all good. It's not hard to get in the car. It's not too high, it's not too low either, by the way, but it looks fantastic. On this particular model here, as options, you have the Matrix LED lights with OLED. And I can't believe I'm saying OLED as well when it comes to cars, because that's something I'm used to saying when it comes to smartphones or tablets, or even laptops even. You got storage pack in there, you got collapsible spare wheel and car jack. The boot space is massive as well, by the way. Like I said, you get 20-inch alloys, you got comfort and sound pack, which is a bit annoying because you have to pay extra for those basic things, like even the sat nav in there, you have to pay for those things. You got rear bench seat plus and comfort center armrest right in front of the car. Audi did provide 3 distinct powertrain technologies as well, with 5 different options available and plug-in hybrids. So you have the TDI, you have the TFSI, and you have the TFSI-E as well, which is, again, just giving you different options if you're looking to pick one of these up. But this particular version here is the 45 TFSI S-Line version. And I say S-Line because it's also available in Sport, the S-Line, like I said already, Edition 1, Vorsprung, which is the top end with all singing and dancing, everything, including the technology inside of the car as well. And I believe there's also a competition Vorsprung specification as well, which you can pick from. In terms of space in the car, the boot space is massive as well. Enough to fit myself in, and you can also fit a bunch of things in there if you want to move house, for example, or just move things to your local storage or move it to the recycle bin. You're looking at 510 litres of boot space, but when you fold the rear seats down, you're looking at around 1,480 litres, which is more than capable. That's more than enough. Inside the car, you have loads of headroom, loads of leg room as well, knee room, in fact, for both the passenger and the driver, especially in the back seat. Even for the way that I drive, with the seat a little bit back, you still get enough leg room and knee room there as well. You get a really nice sound system with Bang & Olufsen, and on the front, the seat itself, you get electronic lumbar support control, but there's no electronic control for actually moving the seat forward and backwards or adjusting the back. But it feels nice and comfortable. I love the interior with the nice finishing. It looks really good. It looks very premium, which is something I expect from Audi in general. I love the S-Line embossing on the seats as well, and the armrest feels good. You got tiny little space here and there to put things like your key, your phone. But one thing I do notice though, when you're charging your phone up front, there's not a lot of space to actually put your phone in that little space, that little gap up front. But under the armrest, they got a bit of space in there to actually put your phone in if you wish to do so. The cost of this car, you're looking at £55,235 with all the extras added on top as well. So you're paying a lot of money for this, but the money is priced right, because the car is priced right, because you're getting something that's comfortable, you're getting something that's premium, you get something that's loaded with all sorts of technology inside of the car. There's no heads-up display though, which is disappointing. I wish that was in the car, but all-round fantastic car, and I think for that price point, you are getting a really good deal for your money. When you get inside the car, everything's very premium. And what you notice about the infotainment system now is that it's not fully touchscreen. So they've done away with the big dial that we normally have in the center console that allows you to control it whilst you're driving, maybe, so you don't have to keep interacting up and down. But now it's fully touchscreen. Before, that was in touchscreen before, which I gladly welcome. It's very responsive. Knowing Audi, I've driven Audis, and you know how their infotainment system are. It's very responsive. As you can see there, you can just swipe across and it just works at all times. In fact, the only button here is the media control, so the passenger can actually control it as well, or you can control it as the driver if you want to. You can just push it left or right to skip track, or you can just rotate it to control the volume, and you can press it to turn it on and off. What I really like though is that it's got a nice clicky feedback to it, and also it's got this nice groove around it, so you can get a feel for it without having to look down as well. And then elsewhere we just have the gear shifter with this nice perforated leather on it. It just feels nice to hold, and when you're shifting gear, you don't shift gear that often, but when you do put your hands on it, it feels really nice and premium in hand. And you just got your auto hold and electronic parking handbrake there as well. So really nice and simple and minimalist. And I kind of like this climate control area. So you got this digital area here, so when you're controlling things, everything's all digital, so you can see the numbers change as you're rotating, and it's got this nice clicky feedback. I don't know if you guys can hear this. It's really nice, so you can actually hear it as well, very audible. And you got heated seats in here. You can synchronize it if you like to. You can do the different zone as well, so 3-zone. You can set the rear passengers. Unfortunately for the passengers, they don't get USB ports, but here we've got one USB port there, full USB, and if you open this area here, you got another USB, but that's a USB-C, which is great, so you can add an adapter there if you want to use a full USB there as well, so people in the back can possibly reach their cable there and charge it as well. But more on the infotainment system, like I said, is very responsive. You can easily just swipe across and you're good to go. You got the home there. This supports wireless Apple CarPlay as well, or you can connect it via cable as well, whichever suits your need. So when you're charging, you can actually use media on Apple CarPlay as well. So if we go into settings, and we can see that again, it's very familiar in terms of what you can do and the settings here and there. If you go into sound, for example, this has got Bang & Olufsen sound system in here, and you can control things like your treble, bass, your subwoofer, and surround level as well. And you've still got 3D sound, and which is really good. And it sounds amazing in here as well. As you can imagine, Bang & Olufsen are not new to the game, and this is very much tuned so that you get really good sound quality as well. And when you're driving, acoustically, it's insulated, so it's not loud as well. It's just not a lot of road noise, especially when you get up to 70 miles an hour. But above that, you start to get wind noise and all that kind of stuff, but still not too loud. But I digress. If you go back again into general settings, you can see just the regular settings that you can change in here. If we go back, we can go across, and then you can see things like entertainment, navigation, and so on, which is pretty basic and straightforward, really. If we go back out though and go into car settings, which is really weird actually, because sometimes I want to go into settings and find car settings, but no, it's not there. You have to come back out into car, and then you see different things. So like your Audi Drive Select, so you can go from dynamic to comfort or individual. You can set your own. But actually, if you go back into the select mode, so if you go into individual, you can tap that. And you can see the things that you can change. So you can change the steering from comfortable to dynamic to balanced, and drive system as well, from efficient to balanced and dynamic as well. Going back out, then we get other things like your parking aid. So this is where you can allow it to beep, for example, front volume, rear volume, entertainment fader. You can do all that stuff in there. You can do your driver assist, where you get speed warning, Audi Presense, and hazard alerts as well, rest recommendation. Speed warning allows you to change settings as well, where you want your speed warning to kick in. Audi Presense, you can go into there as well, so it gives you advanced warning, or you can change the settings for that. Hazard alert, the same thing. You can press the information button, which also tells you exactly what they are in case you don't know what it is, when you're configuring your car to suit your preference. As always, you got the steering wheel function button, which you can allow that to be attached to different functions. So you got all these options available, so you can select it. Inside navigation, this is fully supported by Google Maps, and what you also have now is also swarm intelligence, which means this will talk to other Audi cars on the road to help you navigate your way, to make sure that you can avoid the traffic as much as possible. This just makes it more accurate compared to just using Google Maps, for example, or other sort of technology. So this really works. This works really well. When you put your car into reverse as well, you got some assistance there as well to help you park your car comfortably without worrying at all. So you got your camera, you got volume operation, you can adjust that as always. So if you close that, you got camera there, so you can adjust your camera as well. So if you press that again, just drag across. You can see side view, you can see front view, you can see the from the boot lead is up at the moment. You can see there. You can see like a top-down view. You can see the front. You can see just a wider angle as well. So you've got different views option available to you there, so you can just adjust it and help you park. Let's not forget the instrument cluster as well. Again, you got a big display that you can't miss. And as always, you can change view as well. So you can go from a sport view to more minimalist view that shows you less as well. So in this view, when you minimize your speedometer and the rev counter, what you get then is this big display where you can adjust it to different things. So like you can see your media information, you can see your sat nav. So the sat nav here, the map is a lot bigger. You can just press that again and there's less there as well. One thing I love here though as well is this new natural language processing, which also is connected to the cloud now, so that it uses cloud to help you produce information when you ask it to do different things. So the voice control should be more intelligent. For example, let's try, what's the weather like today? There we go. So providing you have data connection in the car, which you will do, and you'll be able to connect to the internet with it. So using the cloud information, this will then release that information to you. So for example, now it's not showing me the weather on the big screen, which you guys probably can't see right now, but that would show me the weather there. So again, this just works really well, which I really like, because as you know, in most cars, the voice command stuff doesn't really work most of the time. So it's nice to have something that actually works in the car. The Q5 Sportback is a very comfortable ride, and this is rocking a sports suspension. So in terms of your stats and those who are interested in that kind of stuff, this will do 0 to 62 in 6.1 seconds. Again, more than enough for the demographic of people that will be driving this. So you're looking at 370 Newton meters of torque, 149 miles per hour top speed, and 265 PS. So when you need power, it's there. When you need comfort, it's there. You can switch between different drive select modes, so you can do dynamic if you want a bit more. You've even got paddle shift here, so you can manually adjust the gears and ride them out if you wish to do so. But that's not something I would do in this kind of car. The ride height is really nice. I love the seating position. It's comfortable. The seat is a matter of preference in terms of this is a sport seat, so it kind of holds you into position, so you're not getting much leeway in terms of movement here. But I like it. That's the kind of thing that I like. And in terms of user experience in here, it's very easy to control things without getting distracted. The voice command, as we tested earlier, works really well. And also that's connected to cloud service now, provided you connect to the internet, which you would be if you get in a car like this. And then you got the screen as well, very easy to reach, and there's no issue with touching it and navigating it because it's always very responsive, which is great. You've also got the function button here to quickly select things, so you can change drive select, for example, without reaching down here. You got the climate control, which you can adjust, you can synchronize it. It's responsive. Again, you got heated seats, again, extra comfortability in the car. So if you're driving it during winter, it's really great. I wish this came with the sunroof as default though, but that's something you get in the Vorsprung edition. So there's no sunroof in this one, so you don't get that extra sort of feeling that you're in a bigger car than you already have here. But sound system's great, all round really good driver experience in the car. I really like it. More on the driving performance though, when you're cornering, it's good. This is a Quattro, so all-wheel drive. It's got the motor link, so again, it can send power to the front when it went to save a bit of energy if you wish to do so, or it can just quickly, in a split seconds before you even know it, it can just activate the all-wheel drive. So it grips corners very well. There's no issues at all. You feel very well planted, and you feel confident when you're driving Audi Q5 Sportback. It gives you that sporty feeling as well. When you look in your mirror, you can see that sloped back a little bit. You can see the leading lines on the back. It gives you that sporty feeling, so it's really good. There's hardly any lag. You put your foot down and it just goes. But to do that though, I'd say definitely put it into your dynamic mode. Then you get the full experience of what this is actually all about. Oops, and I've just taken the wrong turn in. Even with a 4-cylinder engine, this is still very responsive and it's quite impressive. I also like that it's got dual clutch system, so again, when you're shifting gears, you can feel it shifting smoothly and there's no hiccup there. You don't feel that random jerk when you're shifting gears at all. It's very smooth, and it's something that I've become accustomed to every time I drive an Audi vehicle. In terms of road noise, this is fantastic. It's very acoustically designed in a way that you don't get much road noise, and that's great. I don't want a noisy car, especially when I'm trying to listen to a podcast whilst I'm driving in the nice, quiet countryside like this. So that's a bonus to have in the Q5 Sportback. Driving the car around and being in the car and seeing the level of premium quality that you get, you can see why this is one of the most successful cars for Audi. Coming to the UK, we're going to get the 2-litre TDI version and also the 2-litre TFSI versions. So that's it for the Audi Q5 Sportback 2021 45 TFSI. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. And as usual, if this is your first time on the channel, please again do subscribe, smash the bell notification so you'll be one of the first people to know every time we upload a new video like this on the channel. And yes, like it, share it as well. Someone else might find it useful. All relevant links will be in the description area if you want to find out as well. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.